Hey, who knows more about the right to travel? Is it the driver or is it the cop? Now, in my personal experience, it's me. Hey, welcome to Attorney Reacts with me, America's Attorney. Today, I'm reacting to Jeannia Green Carn's video titled Right to Travel. Myrtle Creek, Oregon police disagree. Let's get started.
Hi there.
Yep.
Hey, I'm Officer Kennedy, Myrtle Creek Police. Earlier, our conversation's being recorded, okay?
Yes, it is.
The reason for the stop today is that unregistered tags are expired. Do you have your license on now? Is that a firearm under your jacket? Don't reach for it, just answer it. I don't know. I'm asking if it's a firearm, so if you reach for it, we have issues.
It is.
Okay, don't ever reach for it.
Oh, is that a firearm under your jacket? Don't reach for it if it is. Yes, it is. My goodness. Oh, wow. I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen in this video, but like, I think we may have a Karen on our hands. I don't know. We'll find out. Don't have to worry about it just yet. But she does appear to have a script or something in her hands. I can't wait to read it.
Will you do me a favor? I'd like to remove that from you.
I would rather remove it myself
Okay,
than
you're not
place
going to
it
do
on
that. You're not going to put a firearm in your
Sir,
hands. Okay, so just hear me
I
out.
am
Stop
not-
talking. Just let me explain, okay? It's for my safety. I don't mean any harm to you.
Excuse me, but it's about my safety.
Okay, I'm not going to hurt you, nor am I putting off an intimidating
Well, I'm
factor.
not
Okay, just
going to
listen.
hurt you.
This is what I would like to do, okay? All I would like you to do is cross your fingers like this, put your hand on your head, and I'd like to just grab it and take it out. I'm not going to seize
No,
it or
I
anything
do not
like that.
want my weapon outside of my vehicle.
Where's your ID?
I do not want my weapon outside of the vehicle.
where is your
I
ID?
am willing to put my weapon on the dash so that you can clearly
Do not
see it.
touch that gun.
Fine.
Okay.
Then it'll
I'll
see
tell you
where
what.
it's at.
Put the paperwork on the dash for me. Put the paperwork on the dash.
Why?
Because I'm telling you to, and it's a lawful order. Put the paperwork on the dash now, and put your hands on.
Yeah, he's making a good point here. So if he sees that she has expired tags, which he says that he has seen that, then he has the right to pull her over. And if he has the right to pull her over, in connection with that, he has the right to tell her to put the paper on the dash. He also has the right to take the gun off of her person. Right now, he's very smart about the potential downside to volatility in this interaction. And I mean, if this is not his first day on the job, he should know at this point that he has pulled over a crazy person. No offense, lady.
I'm going to get your name, date of birth, and I'm going to continue my traffic stop. Do you understand that?
I think I'll just plead the fifth.
That's fine. I recommend that. Well, if you're not going to plead the fifth, you're going to need to present me with an ID. Can you point to where your ID is?
No, sir. You told me to put my
She didn't plead the fifth. She just started arguing with him. Also, this is interesting. Pointing is communication, and communication is what's protected by the Fifth Amendment. And so they actually can't make you point at something if you are invoking the right to not point. So you don't have to move your lips. This can also be communication. Speaking of lips, look at that. Look at that face she's making. That's a good pause I did there.
on the
But
steering
you told
wheel.
me you were going to plead the fifth, which means you're not going to talk anymore. If you're not going to talk, you can't tell me your name and your date of birth. Does that make sense?
Oh, she
So
can't
will
answer
you tell
that.
me your name and date of birth?
Not until I present this paperwork.
Okay. 3216.
Yeah, he
Can I
he
get
needs
another
backup
dinner?
there stat.
I'm going to get my chief down here for you.
Oh,
I will keep them there as long as I can.
Okay. Perfect. Not yet. Female's verbally uncooperative.
I am not
got a
uncooperative.
fire
I am
alarm.
simply answering you without lying. See, you guys always do that. You guys always make something up that isn't there.
What did I make up today, ma'am?
You're saying I'm being confrontational. I'm not being
Okay,
confrontational.
maybe let me
I
use a
am-
different word. Argumentative.
Well, maybe argumentative. I'd say so are you, because you're not getting everything you want exactly when you want it.
Yeah, because I gotta survive every contact, and I'm gonna
understand
get
that.
what I
Wow.
want when there's a firearm involved.
You know what? It's
gonna happen.
I'm sorry, but it's the police that have proved themselves to be unreliable.
Oh yeah? Have you ever met me before?
Yes, I
You've
have.
met me. Where did you meet me?
In fact, really doesn't matter.
Okay, so you
Whoa.
haven't met me, so therefore you have no idea whether I'm reliable or not.
All I know is you're wearing a monkey suit.
A monkey suit? I believe it's a police uniform and a badge, but that's fine. I get what you're trying to do. You're mad at the badge, not.
she actually is scoring some points on the confrontational scale. It's not just argumentative, but I mean, you know, I'm splitting hairs here.
Me. I'm just trying to go
I
home
don't
every day.
trust the badge.
Okay, you don't have to trust me. I stop hundreds,
that's-
possibly thousands of people every year, And I have to survive each of those contacts for
And I
a
understand
duration of 25 years.
I understand that.
I know how to do that, and I know how I want people to react if they do have a firearm. And so that's what I go off of, okay?
And I was willing to compromise with you, but you're not willing to compromise. You want it
What
your
is the
way.
compromise?
I am willing to put it on the dash, or even to allow you to put it on the dash. I
would
not
like to do that.
willing to allow you to remove it from my vehicle.
Okay, I can work with you on that a little bit. If I'm going to put it on your dash, I'm going to unload it first.
That's fine.
Okay, will you put your hands on your head?
What is her
with your
point?
fingers crossed so I can remove it from you? Thank you.
Okay, good job by the cop here, right?
Any other firearms with you?
No.
I mean, he did remove it from the vehicle.
Can I put my hands down now?
Yes, ma'am.
Sorry.
Actually, I'm gonna hold it here until the chief's here. Okay, where's your identification at?
I can just wait for your chief.
Fine with me.
Quite honestly, I don't feel like repeating myself. And if I go through all this with you, then I have to go over it yet again with the chief.
Okay.
I don't feel like repeating myself.
Okay.
So, I am not refusing to identify. I am simply requesting that you take into account that there's more to it than maybe even what you know.
This
I know
is-
you're an officer and you think you know all the laws.
This
Sorry,
is
but
so
nobody
crazy.
knows all the laws.
I've never claimed to.
I would certainly hope not, because I feel bad for anybody that has to.
She says that she feels bad for anybody who blah blah blah. She didn't finish her sentence, but feeling bad for someone else is empathy, right? She doesn't strike me as a very empathic person, but you know, what do I know? What do I know? I don't know.
Everything that's being said. So I have the firearm now. It's clear from her. So essentially approached. I know she had the firearm on her hip. Not a big deal. I asked her if it was a firearm that she'd point at it or tell me instead of reaching it. She reached for it. Anyway, I asked her to put her hands on her head so I could remove it from her and take it back to my vehicle to secure it during the rest of the stop, because she's mildly argumentative. She refused to do that. We ended up coming to a compromise. She let me take it off her and unload it. So it's been a bit of a confrontation. I've asked her for a license multiple times. She said she wouldn't give it until you got here, so that's where we're at. So can I have your license?
I don't want to repeat myself.
Okay, can I have your license, please?
Okay. I've got my camera recording as well.
Okay.
Now, as I told you before I relinquish my information, I am going to go over this paperwork.
Okay, that's fine.
Okay?
Oh man.
Which, of course, is not in order.
And I think now is probably when it's about to get crazy. That's my guess. I think this has been prelude. Oh man. While she's looking, I just want to give a big shout out to Jelly Smack. We love you guys.
As you're asking me for my driver's license, I do want you to know that the right of the citizen to travel upon the public highways and to transport his property thereon by horse-drawn carriage, wagon, or automobile is not a mere privilege which may be permitted or prohibited at will, but a common right which he has under his right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. Under this constitutional guarantee, one may, therefore, under normal conditions, travel at his inclination along the public highways or in public places, and while conducting himself in an orderly and decent manner, neither interfering with nor disturbing another's rights. He will be protected, not only in his person, but in his safe conduct.
That is a picture of the U.S. Supreme Court on her paperwork. You can see the justices. So she's reading from a U.S. Supreme Court opinion about the right to travel. So far, it doesn't matter. This isn't about that.
You have a right to travel. You have a right to travel by your feet or your horse, but you have to have a driver's license.
No, you do not.
Okay, we can argue this later, so you need to provide the officer with your driver's license or you will be arrested for failure to carry and present.
Without a crime, it is not a failure.
Do you have
Why do I have to let go? I presented it. You can see it.
do you have a concealed handgun license with you?
No,
Okay. Do you have insurance for the vehicle?
not required.
Okay.
Whether you feel it's required or not, do
Oh.
you have insurance information?
Oh my
Yes or
God.
No.
Okay.
Real quick, I just wanted to say that Attorney Tom / Attorney Reacts content is now on Spotify. We just launched a partnered show, link in the description. Go check it out. Now, back to the video.
Do you have registration information? Whether it's required in your opinion or not, do you have
I don't know if it's here in the car or not.
Okay, so you just don't know. Okay, that's fine. I'll be back.
Oh man. Now, obviously, you guys already know that whether she has the registration information on her or not is largely irrelevant because they can run the tag and see if the vehicle is in fact registered. And so that's kind of a non-issue, but you have to have proof of insurance on you in every state. However, some states give you a grace period, and if you don't actually have it on you at the time, if you can produce it within 24 hours and it shows that it was valid at the time, that's fine. But this idea that because the right to travel exists, it cannot be regulated is so fundamentally misguided that, like, let's just say, as difficult as this lady would be to be related to, it would be worse to be her lawyer. I'm telling you this right now.
But you'd have to reload it. So,
You give it back here.
yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm just going to put it in this bag with all the ammunition.
Who is she?
She's suspended violation. I've never dealt with her before.
So she prevented you a driver's license and she's suspended?
Yes.
Okay, I'm going to ask her if she knows that. That's the time she knows she's suspended.
Well, also, she was cited and convicted on December 29th of 21 for driving while suspended driving on a public roadway, so that's going to be towed.
I want to pause this and ask you a question. If in this situation, do you guys feel like the cops should give her a ticket for driving on suspended and whatever other tickets they want to give her, and then like send her on her way, like let her drive home? Because they've already said it's illegal for you to be driving. Can they like condone her to like finish the drive, or do they need to impound the vehicle and wait for someone else to come pick it up? Or I don't know. I feel like, they're already going to ding her. They're already going to get some money from her. Maybe she's going to do a little bit of jail time. I don't know. But like, it's a big deal to have your car towed. And I would love to know what you think. Should she be able to finish her drive home? And have you ever been in that situation?
What's the deal, okay? You just step out of the vehicle because you're being placed under arrest for carrying a concealed firearm.
Well, that answers the question about who's driving home.
Can I ask what led you to that decision?
Okay, well, you're carrying a concealed firearm, and that's a crime in Oregon.
Ma'am, do you recall I asked you if that was a gun underneath your jacket?
And I said yes.
Okay, so by me not being able to tell whether it was a gun or not, it was not in open plain view, right? Okay, so it would have been concealed if I can't tell that it's a gun.
You could obviously see the butt of it.
If you got your sweatshirt covering that gun, it's concealed. An open carry is open carry. Nothing obstructing the firearm or the holster that's in.
So had it been on the dash or like flat on the passenger seat,
Or had it been on your side without a sweatshirt covering it, that's not concealed. But you have it under
So
clothing,
now
that's
you guys
concealed.
want to nitpick.
and additionally, it's also a crime to present me with a driver's license knowing that it's suspended. I see you were convicted of driving while suspended in late December of 2021, which was only a few months ago. Additionally, you haven't been reinstated at all since then, so there's a pretty good inclination that you knew you were suspended and knew that license was not valid. That's also a crime in the state of Oregon.
You're making assumptions.
No, that's...
You're making assumptions.
Oh, as far as your knowledge?
Yeah, it actually is possible that she's so dumb she doesn't know that. That's possible. Possible.
Whether I knew or did not know.
Right, I never said I knew for a fact. Okay? I'm not in your mind.
Look, he needs probable cause to believe that she knew that she was driving on a suspended license. Well, he has probable cause. It was suspended 4 months earlier.
There's pretty good evidence to show that you likely knew. But additionally from that, for the concealed firearm, yes, you are under arrest. So we just need you to step out and face the panel up there for us, please.
So maybe like I explained to you, this isn't the place to argue it. That just makes things worse. That's why there's court.
Roger that.
Yeah, you guys looked for the most petty thing that you could to arrest me for.
Okay, well, we didn't
And
look
I'm willing
for
to bet that in the process, you guys have got a whole lot of other things going on. So before we jump to that, I'd like to know what I was pulled over for.
I told you were stopped for expired tags. Okay, additionally, the registered owner of the vehicle is suspended. It appeared to look similar to you based off the picture I pulled up before I stopped you. But in and of itself, I can stop you if the registered owner of the vehicle is suspended.
Yeah, now that's not true in every state. And the distinction here is whether a traffic violation or a vehicle violation is a primary offense or a secondary offense. In some states, having expired tags is not a primary offense, which means they can't pull you over just for that. They have to pull you over for something else, and then once they do that, they can also cite you for that violation. But in many states, including Oregon, it's a primary offense to have your tags expired.
And the description would match. Additionally, you have a light housing on the back here that's broken. I didn't notify you that that's why I stopped you, because I was primarily just stopping you for the tags. But I mean, we can point at things, but I don't want to nitpick with you. I don't want to argue with you. Okay, this is kind of what we're going to do. You're obviously very familiar with the courts. You referenced the Supreme Court earlier in the stop. Okay, so you know that that's the place to argue this stuff. So at this point, that's why you're under arrest. Okay, so we're going to ask that you step out. We don't want an argument with you. We don't want any altercation. So your car, so you were convicted of driving while suspended recently. So
You have no insurance on the vehicle.
You guys have
So-
no legal right to tell it.
Okay, again, you can argue that in court.
But I'm talking to you now.
Okay, this isn't the place for these arguments, okay, ma'am? So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and step out of the vehicle, and if you refuse
I will
to...
step
okay.
out of the vehicle. However, the U.S. Supreme Court has already ruled that a vehicle is a household effect.
Okay.
Therefore, you have no right
Wait,
to tow it.
what?
Again, you can argue that in court. You can argue that, you can file lawsuits, you can do what you like.
So,
Okay.
in other words, what you're saying is that you don't
That's
care
get him on the camera.
that you are stomping all over my constitution.
What I care about is this is my job, okay? I am educated, I'm informed, I get the training on laws and court rulings.
But that does
okay?
not mean that you know all the laws.
Okay.
And that does not mean that you are kept up to date
Right.
on the U.S. Supreme Court's ruling.
Right.
Up to date. It was talking about horse and buggies, woman. What? I mean, come on. Oh my word. Up to date. Pre-Civil War.
So I'm pretty kept up to date. And again, if
I've
if
done my
I'm
research.
wrong, I'll eat crow later, okay? But this isn't the
Eating
place
crow
for it.
later is not going to help me.
Okay.
I
well,
agree with her there.
I have not even said that I'm going to tow it yet, but we need you to step out now so we can get you in custody safely, and then we'll go from there. So please face that way. Please face that way and put your hands behind your back.
Ow!
Good.
Would you
Do
please
you need
be
2 sets
gentle?
of cuffs?
I have a right shoulder injury.
Okay.
So
Chief, will you
please
hold
be
this
gentle.
arm? We'll put 2 sets of cuff on you.
And
That is what I need. If this ever happens to me again, I need 2 sets. It's hard for me to get back there.
Let me check the tightness on this one.
Real quick, ma'am,
One of
you
these
do have the
lists
right
has
to remain
gotta
silent. Anything you say can't be used before the law. You have the right not to finish present lawyers being questioned. If you're not or to hire a lawyer, one will be appointed to represent you at no expense. Do you understand those rights, ma'am?
I'm going to double lock these just so they don't tighten up anymore on you.
I don't think he has to double lock the connection in the middle. Who cares? They're being nice to her.
Okay, man. I'll have you walk back this way with me. In front of my car here.
Okay, I know you say you're pleading the fifth, but be someone who is a licensed, valid driver who can come take control of your vehicle within a reasonable amount of time, which would be within the next 20 minutes or so.
Bryson,
Bryson,
his neighbor.
okay. And are you still living at the Candyville address? It's on your license? I'm only asking because I'm trying to think about how long it's going to take somebody to get here.
Yes, I live in Candyville.
Okay. Would you like to call Bryson to see if he can come get your
I
vehicle?
would appreciate it.
Ah, see, they're being so friendly to her. She said you don't have the right to tow this household effect, and they don't want to tow it. I mean, they can tell she doesn't have money to pay to get it out of towing, and it's a mess. It's a mess. That's a mess. What a mess. I mean, the cops are actually being pretty nice to her about this towing thing. They're trying to save her a little bit of money, a little bit of inconvenience. It's not even her car, as I think I understood what they were saying. And so, like, they're kind of doing her a solid, especially considering how she's acted, which has kind of been, not great. So there's a certain small percentage of the people in America who are confused about this right to travel. These people often are sometimes like in the sovereign citizen type camp, and they think that because you have a right to travel in the US, that you don't have to have a driver's license, you don't have to have insurance, basically that there are no rules, or if there are rules, they don't really apply to you. But it's nonsense, because just because you have a right to travel doesn't mean that you have a right to travel in a certain manner in an unregulated fashion. and you don't. And these cops are just doing their jobs. And I know I sometimes make fun of the cops on this channel, but they were nice to her. And she was not awesome. But you've heard my thoughts about this interaction. Now it's time for me to hear yours. I would like you to get down below in the comments and let me know your thoughts on this whole like right to travel, and is it a fundamental right, and should it be regulated or not? And as always, do not forget to scroll right back up here and check out these other awesome reaction videos from my friends. See ya, bye.
Big verdict.